Hi everyone, welcome back to the Rebel Pro Psychic Show with your host Athena Silver.
Hi, I'm Anja River.
Tonight we are talking about manifesting, bringing new things into our lives through the art of willing and following it down with intention. So we're going to talk about creating and shaping the world around us just through different means, but all in the realm of creating the reality we want. Are you excited?
I'm very excited, and we have a bonus where we're going to be talking about manifesting money for your new year.
Definitely.
So stay tuned.
And we're back. Hi, everyone. We're going to get right into this episode. We're going to talk about manifesting. Now, I just want to give everybody just a little bit of a definition about what we're talking about here, because we hear this word, oh, I manifested this. Oh, I'm going to manifest it. But really, what does it truly mean? The definition that I really go by is manifesting is when you use intention and you will something into existence through various means, whether that be speaking it into existence, thinking and visualizing it into existence, meditating on it, using positive affirmations, vision boards, whatever your thing is, it's having the desire for something, setting the intention of having it pulled into your life and creating it in the world through the energies that you're attracting. Yeah. How do you feel about it, Anja? Well, how would you define manifesting?
I have a whole belief behind how manifesting works. And so that sort of defines what I think manifesting is. Mm-hmm. So if I'll go back to the belief, all right. So what I believe, and no one else has to believe this, but what I believe is that we chose our experiences. We kind of gave ourselves a path of experiences that we wanted to have here on Earth before we even came into this life. And how that works is, when we come in and we have this free will, and we decide that there's all these experiences that we want to have, that's what makes up, your mind and your heart and your contracts make up the experiences that you want to have. But because we have free will, we have the ability to change those things and decide, hey, I want to experience something different. When you talk about manifestation, it's really like this aligning of your wills and your body and your heart and your mind and being able to choose a new experience, so when you can align that.
It's like hacking the matrix, It's like saying, I'm going to take that pill and creating the life in front of you.
Right. Because we're creator beings, that's my feeling and my thought process. We're creator beings, we co-create with the universe. So we innately have this power to manifest within us, and it's easy to activate. I say it's easy to activate because when you say the words, and to someone who, like, when the light bulb goes off, then you're like, oh yeah, this is so easy. But a lot of times you can hear the words, or even you can do it in certain applications. Like we're going to talk about money is a really easy way to manifest. But without, in other applications, it might be a lot harder because you have some shadow work that you have to deal with. What this comes down to is your intent and your purity of your belief system. So, what does that mean? Like, if I say I want to, have a lot of money, really, that's most likely coming from a belief system of lack, right? Yeah. So you say like say you're sitting around your kitchen table and you're like, oh, I wish I had a lot of money. That's not manifesting anything. That's going, I'm sitting in my lack. I'm sitting in my yearning for something. And then what the universe responds to is say, hey, you're a free creator being. you want to dream about money that you don't have, guess what? You can keep doing that. Now you sit in your lack.
I also think that it also ties into a lack of faith. When you have faith, you can manifest things because you know what's going to happen. You rely on your spirit, God, whoever you think of, even just universal energies themselves. You know that when you speak those words, when you have that thought and you back it up with faith, that's when it actually starts to happen, and it's accepting it in whatever guise it comes in. You may ask for $5,000 and only get $5, but it's because there's a part of you that was not had the faith behind it to say, I have that $500 or that $5,000. It's in my bank. It's on its way. It's coming, where it's a block on you.
Well, it's interesting because money, like my experience with this is that money especially can come in many different forms.
Yeah.
And it all depends on what you need and what you're looking for. Like, I'll give you for instance, I once manifested a car,
Yep.
and what I was doing was like, I wasn't even really asking. I needed a car, but I wasn't really asking for a car. I was actually asking for movement and ease in the house. And because of the situation that we were going to need a car real soon. And I can't give the specifics, but I got basically 2 donations from different people going, hey, you need a new car, here, have this. It wasn't clients or anything like that, like it was family members.
Yeah.
It was a weird situation where it happened at the same time. And it was just like, and I immediately linked it back to that working that I was doing, because I was like, this is unbelievable. This is money and ease in my house. And I can't believe I just got these 2 different gifts from 2 different people at the same time. One was the actual car, and it still had some money on it that was owed. And the other was the money that I needed to pay off the car.
Wow. That's powerful.
It was the same weekend, it was like, it wasn't anything that anybody was asking for. It was just like, oh, hey, you might need this. And it's like, at the time it was 2017 or 2018, and this was a 2013 car, nice. So it was a, pretty newish car. And, and that was like, that was amazing. And that was, I was asking for this, like, okay, like I'm in this situation where I feel like the energy is kind of stuck and I need help. And, that's one way too, is you are a co-creator being, but you're, so when you're asking your guides or you're asking source, for help, or, the collective unconscious, because we work with that too. Like I work with that too. In those situations, like, I feel like that vagueness actually like really helped in that situation. Sometimes it doesn't help.
Yeah. Speaking on that, actually, I'm really good at manifesting opportunities.
Yeah,
you are. Open-ended opportunities. And they always come to me completely unplanned and random. Yeah. And it's always like somebody knew me through somebody else and heard my name or something. It's always random. And it's always right when I feel stuck. Mm-hmm. I get to this point where, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm all about business. I'm trying to climb that ladder on my own terms. You know what it is. All of you that know me personally know, I'm trying to live life on my own terms, by my own rules. And anytime I feel stuck or pressed up against a corner, I just throw my will and my faith and everything into the spirits and my spirit guides and ask them, I'm putty. Shape me into whatever you want, whatever shape you want to put me in, that's going to give me a step forward in the right direction, in the direction of empowerment and fulfillment and happiness and success, on whatever that means. And typically I'll get a phone call or somebody reaches me somehow, and it always works out, for the best, but it's because I'm putting my faith in behind whatever this opportunity is.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, the opportunities, like those span everything, all of the different ways that you can use manifestation. Right. I mean, like that's amazing. So yeah, it's I have this analogy about like going back to the belief, right? And I really wanted to tell people about this because I feel like this might help a lot. You need to really, you're saying you need to believe, you really need to believe. It's one thing if you're telling yourself in your brain, that, oh, this has happened already, right?
Yeah.
But your emotions will tell you if that's not true. And one of the analogies that came to me once a long time ago was about like when I was living in the city and I had a lot of city friends and a lot of them didn't know how to swim, and I would bring them to the country and like go to like the lakes and stuff and be like, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to float. And they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm a grown adult and I've never swam before. And I'm like, don't worry, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be easy. I'm just gonna teach you how to float in like 3 inches of water. You'll be fine. And I'll get the person down. This happened to me multiple times with multiple friends. And they'd be like, yeah, I can do this. I see the little kids doing it. I can do this. And the thing is, when you are trying to float in the water, you need to believe that you can float so that you can breathe in and out and create the buoyancy so that you can actually float. Someone can tell me, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to float. And they get down, they put their body there, but they're so terrified that they sink because they're not letting the emotion go of the fear. So you can't expand your belly. You can't get that air in and you won't be able to float. Now your mind is telling you, I can float, but you need to let go of all of that electric energy that's telling you that this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. So if that's something that's stopping you from manifesting, like I want you to pay attention to what your thoughts are telling you, because a lot of times people think that they're thinking one way, but if you really stop and listen to how your ego talks to you, you can have a much better understanding of where you can adjust so that you can manifest what you want. So for instance, like one of the things that I channeled today, which was like so great, was for me, maybe a lot of other people already know this, but for me it was really like powerful, which was like I realized that my ego talks to me in a very not nice way. And then on the flip side, sometimes you hear a lot of healers going, okay, you can tell your ego to kindly go F off, and I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that relationship.
I hear you, because sometimes I feel like my ego talks the same way that Precious's mom did to her in that movie, calling her all sorts of swear words and stuff, telling her that she's nothing and she's not going to amount to nothing. And, and that's really the core of all of this, is how we talk to ourselves and our relationship to ourselves.
I got this today, which was, you can ask your ego, like if you access from your subconscious, your higher self, you can ask your ego to speak to you with respect, and you will say to it, and I will treat you with respect, right? So you're going to treat your ego with respect as well. So you're going to transform that relationship. When you do that and you start paying attention to your thoughts, all right, change that dialogue with the ego, between the ego and the self and the subconscious, you will be able to manifest so much better, because you're not going to have this division. And I'm saying that this will probably work. I mean, I haven't manifested for myself with, like I'm really good at manifesting money, but, other areas of your life as well. Like if you can get these three, I feel like it's three like pieces of yourself. If you can get those three pieces of yourself to be in relationship, in a loving relationship, where you understand the role of the ego is to protect the body. You understand that there's a larger self that you can go to that doesn't understand actually like the nitty gritty of like why we need, money, and why we need like, or why we might want certain things, or, that part of the self is just like, well, whatever you decide, and what you decide is what you're thinking in your, and that relationship between your three selves, So does that make sense? I'm sorry if I rambled too long.
No, it does. I would also like to add that if you know how you learn, it's like a way to hack this process even further. Like, for instance, I'm an extremely visual person. I will see the one napkin that's pointed in the wrong direction or folded in the wrong way. I'll see it from a mile away. So when I try to manifest things, I'm a very visual person. I need a visual representation of what I'm trying to do, whether that's writing out a petition on a piece of paper and burning it, or burying it and scattering the ashes to the winds, or getting an object that represents the thing that I'm trying to manifest. So if I'm trying to manifest a car, I might get a little Matchbox toy, you know, and every time I see that toy, that reminds me of the pact that I made with myself to manifest this into my future. So if you're someone who is very auditory, positive affirmations and mantras say, I am successful, I am happy, I have everything I need in my life. And every time you say that, you're manifesting all those things into your life, because you are the one that needs to hear it in order to put it into motion. So it's that learning capacity, that learning matrix. And you might be a hands-on person. You might want to manifest a house, but you got to get in there and go to Home Depot and start ordering stuff in order to manifest said house. You have to be in the act of doing it to manifest it. So it's complicated. It can come on many different levels. I also want to add, more importantly, when we're going to go into doing any kind of ritual, ceremony, spell work, anything like that, always do a reading or have a reading done about that working specifically. So say I'm trying to manifest, you know, a hot new car. I am going to pull some cards, do a reading, get a reading done, whatever it is, asking specifically if I should do a candle to try to manifest this car. Or if the reading tells me it is not a good time, I'm not going to even try to manifest it right then. I might table it and come back to it later, or I might get a green light from the reading telling me, well, if you do this, this, and this, it'll happen. You know, so divining and really asking your spirits and your deities and the universe or whoever you speak to through having a reading is a really good way to pinpoint when it is a good time to manifest and how it should be done and what the outcome looks like. It gives you a lot more. Let me ask you, because I was thinking from the terms of doing some shadow work to get some of those blockages that you might not know you have to what you want, right? So would you be able to apply that into a tarot, you know, check, you know, before you know, as well, because you might need to dissolve some stuff, you know, and I feel like tarot would be able to identify. Yeah, I would ask very, very detailed questions. I would ask, what is it in me that needs to get changed for this to happen? You know, if I change this, what's the outcome? If I don't change this, what's the outcome? You know, is there a workaround? Whatever it may be, may come up. You know, is this something that I need to go in and experience regardless? Is this going to be a holy burning pile of hell? You know, you need to know what you're walking into before you take that step. Yeah. And to be honest with you, all tarot readings are basically like checking to see if you can manifest whatever it is that you're looking at. Not all, but a lot of them are more than what you think, you know. Some of the best readings, I'd argue. But it's very important to be honest with yourself, especially when you're having these readings, because you might be tied up, you know, you need that rent money, you're $200 short and you're trying to manifest it. And you may do a reading and it says, this is not the right way. You need to go about it differently. You have to respect that, you know, because it's not only your spirits communicating to you, it's a part of you also communicating to yourself. So you have to understand the part of yourself that says this isn't a good time. You know? I would also not argue, but say that in that kind of situation, like what you're describing, I would think that might be something coming from the ego telling you, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And then maybe that's not the case, you know, from a more depending on the situation level. And the person. But I think you're right about that too. Well, I found, you know, I'm thinking of an example of like, you know, it might be the ego coming in, because the ego sometimes comes in and wants you to have all this stuff, you know, for security's sake, you know, coming from a fear-based situation, you know, which is more protective of a reason to do a reading.
Exactly. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I hope you and everybody know that I'm agreeing with you. I'm trying to like bring some more to the table about this situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh no.
I think that there's so much you can do in the way of supporting your manifesting efforts as well, in the way of working with certain crystals, burning certain herbs, or working with, different plants to try to manifest. When I'm doing any kind of manifesting for money, I am always using like allspice berries and cinnamon and parsley and cloves and all these different herbs that vibrate in the way of that specific money type of manifestation that I'm looking for.
Right.
So there's different things you can do. There's different mantras and sayings. There's different candles you can burn. There's different prayers that you can say and different offerings you can give to the spirits in order to entice them into helping you with your petition. So it's it's complex, and it really truly is what you make of it. It's as far as you want to take it. It's as complex as you want to make it. I know some people that just simply say the word and it happens. And there's times that I've done that in my own, I've said out loud, I wish I'm feeling lonely. I wish somebody came over, and I got a text message. Hey, I'm on my way over. You home,
Yeah, right.
I manifest phone calls a lot that way and meeting people. Yeah. There's times, especially, you guys know I do a lot of psychic fairs. The day before I go into a psychic fair, I sit in meditation and I ask my spirits and my spirit guides to send people to me that need help. I'm willing to help that whole day, send the people that need these messages the most. And whoever shows up is who was sent to me, but I'm putting out that vibration, that call, and whoever's vibrating at that level or who's willing to accept it is there. And they all come when they're ready. But it's that faith component, because usually in most cases, the person knows that they need help in some kind of way, but they didn't realize that I'm the person to help them, or that they even needed help on that day. They just know they needed help in general.
Yeah. So. And I think you bring up a good point about, having it be a multi-level thing, right? So like you're going to have more power when you incorporate the elements that aren't just about yourself.
Yeah.
Where you're incorporating the elements of like, you're trying to line up with a specific pattern in the universe, like the specific formation of you being there to assist and calling the people in that need the assistance, calling the people in that actually are also calling for assistance.
Yeah.
So that's like a puzzle piece coming together, like magnetically coming together. And that's when you're going to have like more success, is when you're lining up your intentions to try to puzzle, to key in with other people's intentions.
Well, I notice that's typically when the spirits want to help, is when you're not asking for help for yourself, but help for others.
I had a thing that I wanted to talk about that, like, too, specifically, because like money is great to study for manifestation, because she is a spirit that's very neutral, and I feel like they're like, she's the most neutral of the spirits. So when you can really learn to work with that energy and understand that like all the judgments against it is me, then you can drop the judgments easier in other areas where you're trying to manifest. Like once you can get over that, because humans have demonized money so badly.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people who have literally worshipped it.
It's the people, though.
Yeah.
It's the people that's the problem, not the money.
No.
The money is a spirit that is just a neutral entity that wants to move, right?
So you can have money, and it could be money given to people in need, or it could be money that is made by drug lords.
She doesn't
the
care.
Money itself. That's just the spirit of that vibration. What people do with it is the part where it can go, and it's a very ego-driven process, where that drug lord may use it to get everybody hooked on crack. And, the person who is receiving the charity could be using that to get their feet back on the ground and start over with their lives and with their
Right.
families. So it's
Right.
not necessarily that money is evil. It's that people who are ego driven do evil shit with money.
Yeah.
And we've all seen it, it play out in many different arenas that way. But it's not, like you said, the energy and the vibration of the money itself is not the issue. And it's
Right.
really where your heart is at. If you're living a life in touch with your heart, your emotions, your empathy, your sympathy, your feelings about yourself, you're going to manifest good things into your life, whether you are trying or not. That's because you're not judging yourself. You're not hating yourself. You're not talking down to yourself. But if you are, you're not going to live such a positive life because you're manifesting everything. Just like they say, as above, so below, as within, so without. That's how it is. You have to feel good about yourself in order to bring more good in and more good be reflected back out and vice versa.
I hope this is so helpful. I hope it is. I hope somebody can take something from this and have a very prosperous 2021.
So we hope you enjoyed this tonight, guys. We'll probably do another episode on this topic because there's so many things that can be taken and run with here. Make sure you guys check back in with us, Rebel Crow Psychic Show. We're on YouTube and on all podcasting platforms. I'm Athena Silver. I'm a professional psychic medium. If anybody would like a reading with me, my website is readingswithathenasilver.com. My Instagram is athena.silver. My Facebook is Readings with Athena Silver. And my TikTok is Athena_silver. What about you, Anja? How do they get a hold of you?
So I can be reached on Facebook or Instagram at Anja River, ANJARIVER. And I am a channel, a tarot reader, and soon to be hypnotherapist.
Yay! Awesome. So we hope you guys come back with us next Thursday for another interesting topic, and enjoy the rest of your day. Many blessings.
Bye.